Okay, so this one takes place in Prague. It's called Ripe Orange. And I'm trying to stick with the sex theme because it's literary verse. But there might be some like war, death, and babies in there. Okay, Ripe Orange. Ripe orange, you, sitting at a table in a bar in Prague. There are naked people on the walls, cartoons of naked people on the walls. And one shows a man running naked in the desert with his ass blown off, bloody, running while above him there is a man in a plane with a shotgun. And you're a drunk, you ripe orange you, wearing a black wool see-through shirt with a black lace bra. You're complaining about your housemate's sexual advances. And George, sexually advancing, asks, "Why don't you try being less sexy, you ripe orange? You remind me of a ripe orange." He takes your phone number and programs into his phone as ripe orange. And when you text him, you say you're ready to be squeezed, your breasts hurt, it is that time of month when your skin is sensitive. You try being less sexy, and instead you become tactile, your hands approaching his on the table in Marquis de Sade, a bar that used to be a brothel, your hands advancing sexually, tactile towards him. You are like the Czech girls, so tactile, and he is like George. He is more than George, being a clockwork George, like clockwork and like oranges, ripening in his mouth. And this one takes me to Iowa, where I did my MFA, and fell in love, among other things. Actually, I fell in love in Prague, and then the madness continued. So this was inspired by, if you've ever been to the Art Center in Des Moines, there's a sculpture that is referred to in the poem, and there's a rose garden. So roses. Roses that smell like the ginkgo tree, the female ginkgo tree that produces a rotten smell to attract the male tree. Although trees do not have legs, do not move, yet somehow reproduce. Some of the roses smell like this, but others smell good, like roses should smell. Rose-scented, pink, red, and yellow roses that sometimes smell like the sex of the ginkgo tree, but mostly smell like roses. In the summer, in the evening, the park is like a cemetery. It has that feeling and that smell. The smell of rancid butter, the smell of the sex of the ginkgo tree. The roses are blooming and some are wilting, some have yet to open. And there is a giant egg made of stone and a sign that says, "Do not lean on the sculpture or sit on it either." And this egg is in the middle of 3 other stone sculptures with an indent in which the egg would fit perfectly. And these are arranged around the egg in a circle. And inside of this we sit and talk and our voices echo. We talk about mosquitoes and encephalitis and death. The roses go on doing what roses do. And the smell of the sex of the ginkgo tree permeates the air everywhere the roses are. So wow, leaving Iowa behind so quickly. Not like real life. Okay, satellite garden. Nimbus ripening. Missile minuet, he said. And I, the masseuse of his cut the thorns off, Martha Stewart style genius. Arose a slinky stare, we did it with the butcher. O'Hare and afterward, the sun's lips were damp. We kept getting up, and number his was. The war to my peace, the torn to my dicey, the star to my make. Mine pie, mine one lies strewn machete, cuticle to the center, hold it. Maladroit mistreating every oink of meaty. His was God's, oh my nuptials of flies in the satellite garden. So this is the last one I'm going to read from Samsara, and then I'm going to read some Vegas poems. Yes. Okay. Stampede. I watch the stars through the window in my ceiling. They move like herds of elephants across the sky. The New York Times reports that elephants are going crazy. Are the stars going crazy? Here, eat one. It tastes like chicken. Sorry, is that too obvious and cute? Okay, it tastes like elephant. It tastes like the bloody tusks of you without you in the ground. Even when the tusks are gone, I return to this spot to nuzzle your bones. The elders are gone, and young males rampage through the village, trumpeting like apocalypse and upsetting the occasional fruit cart. True story. Okay, so moving right along to Vegas. I'm thinking about calling this book 24 Neverland, and the first poem is called Wrong Turn. Wrong turn. There was a desert where the movie theater should have been. A movie theater where there should have been desert. Okay. And this next one was inspired by getting my hair cut at a place called Shag Me Salon, but it just goes to other places. I'd like to blame Vegas, but I think it's just all me. Megafauna. My hairstylist says she loves Las Vegas because it's covered in rhinestones. I love rhinoceroses. They are my favorite odd-toed ungulates. When rhinoceroses get together, it is called a crash. I would like to get together with others of my kind and call it cash. Sandy nods. Megafauna, she says, can range from large animals to animals that are large compared to others in their species, like Justin Bieber. She taps his poster forehead on the wall. He had his horn removed. He is related to the dragonfly. She runs the crotch of the scissors along the hair at the side of my face. The cold metal grazes my cheek. Have you ever heard a lobster scream in a pot of boiling water? No. Have you ever seen a dragonfly eat a butterfly? No. Marilyn Monroe's eyes Google. I throw my 2 cents into the bag bulging with kittens. Dragonflies have multifaceted eyes all over their head and 6 legs, but they can't walk well. She grasps my head with both hands. She scratches my scalp better than one of those head massagers you can buy at a stall in the mall. They look like big copper spiders, you know? I know. Okay, this is the second to last poem I'm going to read, and I'm from Massachusetts. Are any of you guys? Woo! Okay, so I love Dunkin' Donuts, and the Red Sox. Even though I know they lost, I still love them. So, like last fall in Vegas, I was in the Bellagio, which if you've ever been to Vegas, they do a rotating atrium display where they, like if it's Year of the Dragon, they have like a bunch of dragons, and it's all about the simulacra in Vegas, as you know. So this one was called Fall in New England, and it made me really sad because I was in Vegas, which I know most people think of as a party, but it's not really. So this is called No Exit, and it's about the rotating atrium display that was called Fall in New England. This play stars 3 flowering horses, a talking tree, and a windmill, the placard says, represents New England in miniature. The talking tree upstages everyone with its rolling eyebrows. Monks gather for photos beneath its plastic branches. The horses shake their straw manes, wondering if the smell of cloves is real. The windmill, too, is lonely. And then this last one, again, inspired by Vegas, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. So this is the last one I'm gonna read tonight. Thank you so much for your attention and coming out. Narcissus. Blood flowed from the ground into his mouth. He stood up on the stage and looked out at the audience. All around us, the ocean rubbed sleep from its eyes. I was barefoot on the ice. He knelt down to paint my toes. He put on his boots. The dolphins stayed under the water, their smiles stuck on. They would not do tricks for him as long as I was alive. It was not that they disliked me, they were mine. But they liked the small fish that leapt from his sleeves. I lay down. I heard the crackling of a spire. I saw my mother. The dolphins jumped through hoops of fire. They walked on water. They did backflips and spoke in a human tongue. They said, I love you. I am so grateful that you keep us safe here in this tank. There are beautiful tigers dipping their paws into the water. Thanks.